Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, children of all ages, that was a minor technical difficulty that caused us to start the show just a few minutes late. If you were watching on the Facebook feed over here to my left, you would know exactly what was going on. The whole damn system crashed about 20 seconds before the show started. We all froze and it looked silly and blah, 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 blah. But we're here now. I am your host, your spirit guide, your local sin merchant, the old humble guy himself. That name's down here in the bottom, my bottom right-hand corner. I don't know what corner it is on you. I'm here with the lovely and talented Sam Chapman from the I Think I'm Scary show, podcast network, Instagram and Facebooks and all the things. How do I describe it? The I Think I'm Scary show?
You could call it that. It's basically a platform just dedicated to promoting independent people. So it's like a really cool social media promoting thing full of interesting commercials.
So we'll just say I have Sam Chapman from I Think I'm Scary.
Perfect.
And then when they say, well, what's that? I'm going to say, well, hang out for the next 15 minutes. We're going to do some housekeeping. We're going to plug some stuff. And then we're going to talk about I'm Scary. I Think I'm Scary. So first things first, we start the show with my opening shot. And I take my opening shot, and that just so happens to be today our straight whiskey from the Old Humble Distilling Company. So cheers to you over there, Sam.
Yeah, cheers.
Sam is in Canada, the Great White North, which is not, it's great right now, but it's not white. It's summertime. All your houses are melting.
Yep, exactly. It's brutal.
It's because they live in igloos, people. That's the joke.
It's true. They all melted away.
I'm going to post real quick for, well, I mean, if anybody's watching, they can ask. All the folks over there on Twitter, y'all are going to lose your feed in about 15 minutes as well. If you want to see the rest of the show, there is a link I just posted to the Twitter video. If y'all are watching via the Twitter video, that is the link. You're going to want to go, come on, there it is. That'll bring you to the show so you can watch the rest of it. All you folks over on Facebook, the link is down there, posted in comments. Go to the YouTube channel and watch the show. Sam, what you drinking over there?
I am drinking I don't quite remember what it's called. It is, I think it's called Wolf's Head. It's a coffee-based whiskey.
A coffee-based whiskey. Well, that's a hell of a coincidence. So is this a coffee-based whiskey, like a whiskey infused with coffee? So it has the flavor and all that stuff from the coffee?
Yeah, it's actually really strong how much you taste the coffee. It's pretty good. Mm-hmm.
Well, that is a hell of a coincidence because I've been working on a little concoction over here the last several weeks. I'll hold it over here so they can see it on the Facebook side and the Twitter side and the Twitch and YouTube side. This right here. This is a little thing we've been calling Black Magic. It is a coffee liqueur made with our straight whiskey. And the cocktail that I drink with that is a little bit of ice, a little bit of the Black Magic, and whoop, there you go. That is the Black Magic cocktail. And the Black Magic cocktail, the Black Magic liqueur, is basically, well, it's not basically, it's our straight whiskey infused with cold brew coffee. So we steep it over the cold brew coffee beans and put it in the refrigerator for 24 to 48 hours to infuse the whiskey with the coffee. And then we add a little sweetener to it. And, hey, Jeff says hi. We add a little sweetener to it. You drink it on the rocks. And, oh, my goodness, that is a yummy.
I'm so jealous right now.
I'm always surprised when I drink my cocktails and they're very satisfying and yummy. And I shouldn't be because I know what they taste like. Because I had this earlier today, but it's always just this pleasant little, how do you do, you know, like meeting an old friend and you like, God, I haven't seen you in so long. It's so good to see you. You shouldn't be surprised to be happy to see your friends, right?
Yeah. No,
Same way with
awesome.
this. I shouldn't be surprised that it tastes good. It's a delightful little drink. Anyway, so let me give a couple of thank yous real fast. Not only to you, thank you for coming on the show and joining us tonight. Thank you to the Cabin Fever Live Stream Network. You can support the Cabin Fever live stream artists. You see them from 5 o'clock to midnight pretty much every single day. Coming up after us is Scabs and Tifa, so stay tuned for that. And tomorrow is going to be Tifa and Emma Emma Dilemma. In fact, Emma's going to be our guest on Tuesday, so that's a super duper fun treat. If you want to support them via PayPal, cabinfeverlivestream@gmail.com. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch. We're the Old Humble Guy. YouTube, there's the links all over the place. Find us. We are, if we get 200 subscribers to our YouTube channel by the end of the day Sunday, I'm going to give away a free bottle of whiskey. That's kind of exciting. And it's really exciting too, because I've watched my YouTube channel grow over the last 2 months from like 25 subscribers at the beginning of May to now over 120 subscribers now. So that's like really, really exciting. All these shows. That's where I post these shows after they or actually as they're airing, they get posted up there. What else do I need to plug? Don't forget to catch Devil's Hour on Wednesday nights too, because you were on Devil's Hour last night.
Yeah, it was amazing. I absolutely love watching that show. It's great.
Jeff with a G does a great show. That comes on Wednesday nights at 9 on Cabin Fever live stream. And I think he does a replay on his own channel. He'll probably correct me with that later. He also does a show on Mondays where they watch public access movies. And then he does kind of a live chat thing on Sundays, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's called the G Spot.
The G Spot, that's right. Yeah, I'm trying to keep that schedule in my head. I should probably write it down at some point when it gets codified, and well, it's mostly codified now, and we can figure out what's going on. So I'm going to, these people over here on Facebook still look at me. I'm going to give them 5 more minutes. Every time I kind of glance over here, I see my face looking back at me in a whole stream of comments. I'll get to those comments later. I really promise, guys, I will. But right now, I got to talk to Sam. So over here. So Sam,
hey.
Up there in Canada, you've got.
Yes, I am.
You've got the I Think I'm Scary platform, the I Think I'm Scary show, the network that you go about supporting and promoting independent actors, independent performance, independent movies, kind of a horror themed.
So it's basically anything that makes you feel uncomfortable. So everybody has their own definition of what scares them. So it's basically, I'm supposed to go around and find these people that induce some sort of fear and show them off and promote them. So imagine like I'm driving around in this really cool car and I'm like, cool, this person's super sick. And then I spend the time, make you a free promotional video and then share you across and basically just promote the heck out of you.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's just a platform for everybody to just have fun and find like new fans for themselves.
Oh, cool. And the stuff that makes you uncomfortable. So like people standing too close to you at the grocery store.
You know, with COVID happening, yeah, I could just walk into any grocery store and make a video.
That was actually, you got dark. You got dark real fast.
I did. I'm trying to show you that I'm scary. We're having a bit of a lighting issue.
That's how it happens sometimes. Actually, at the very beginning of all this, at middle of March, I ran into a Specs to go grab some supplies for a cocktail video that we were doing. And I come up to the counter with my bottles and I put them on the counter. And this guy, I swear to God, he comes and he stands like right here over my shoulder, just comes up and he puts his stuff on the counter right next to me. And I look at him and I'm like, ugh, like, get what? Ugh. And this was early in the pandemic stuff. And it was, I swear, this far away from me. And it was gross before it was supposed to be gross.
So funny story, actually. So I find it amazing because here we're really strict with like our face mask guidelines. I'm not sure how strict it is there. So imagine I've got like my sunglasses on and I got my face mask going, right?
Yeah.
And there's this lady behind me giving me sass and I'm like, I go to give her like an angry look, but then I realize there's like no capability of showing any facial expressions.
Yeah, they can't see the, Nobody gets the facial cues to stay away from me when I'm out scowling and I don't want to be around people.
Yeah.
They just think I've got a mask on and I'm wearing sunglasses. They can't tell what I look like. We're in the same boat. With the people that are actually following the guidelines, we're in the same boat. But they also can't see me mouth at them how much I hate them. for being near me or being slow in front of me or doing whatever they're doing. I'm just like, you jackass. But they can't see that. So it's a lot of freedom.
Yeah. Yeah. You can get away with anything at
A
this
lot of
point.
freedom to say what you're thinking. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So examples of stuff that, like stuff that makes people uncomfortable, that's all over the board. Like from the mundane to of there's too many birds in the trees all at once
Yeah. So I'll give
to
you a perfect example from like personal experience. So I find the whole sideshow world to be the scariest for me because you guys are all so brave. So you know that thing where they like shove things down their nose?
yeah, the blockhead thing. Yeah.
That freaks me out every single time. So that's something I like to promote is all these like weird sideshow things that just make you uncomfortable. Because like when you see somebody set themselves on fire, you're kind of worried, right?
Right. There's a little bit of anxiety there. Like you're not
Yeah,
supposed to be on fire.
no, exactly.
One
So
of
I
my
sit there
favorite
and I'm like,
hobbies is
ugh,
not being on fire. That's
exactly.
in the top 3 hobbies that I have.
Yeah, amazing. But
Now,
yeah,
honest
one
to
of the things,
goodness, the thing about the blockhead trick that they do, or stunt, whichever, I don't know if they call it tricks or stunts. Ask Chris over there. Uh, but when they, like they shove it in there, that's one thing. But then when they pull it out and then lick it, that's the
why do they
part that
always
grosses
lick
me out
it?
the most. They lick it, and that was just in your nose, man.
I
Ugh.
don't know why they do that. It's so nasty every single time. You're just like, why do you have to do that?
Yeah. I figure before it's lubrication, but after, I don't know. There's
Yeah.
nothing coming out of your
I
nose that you need to lick.
no, exactly.
Let's see. Jeff says, Phoenix says oh, because they know we hate it. Thanks, Phoenix.
Exactly.
And just a quick note, Jeff says that on Saturday is the G spot, Wednesday is the Devil's Hour, Monday is the Nightcap and Chill. We were close, but we were not correct. We were right on the Devil's Hour. Um, so yeah, I mean but that's fascinating. Just the way that, and hang on, time out. I'm going to send the Facebook people away. By Facebook people, you need to have been on YouTube by now. I will see you on the YouTube. Bye.
Bye.
And it just went bing, and now we're posting it because they've had it's solid 15 minutes. They've had their show, and Twitter gets to hang out for another. I'll let them hang out for another. Y'all get it for another 5 or 10 minutes. I may remember to turn that off. I may forget to turn it off. Anyway, so the stuff that gets people out of their comfort zone.
Yeah.
That's a fascinating process, a fascinating idea for me because a lot of people live their lives in their little cocoons. They live, it's work, highway, home, couch, TVs that shows they're familiar with, and when those TV shows end their run, then they go find another show like it. That's probably why there's 37 SVUs, and at least a dozen Law and Orders that they can catch. I think Law and Order and SVU might be the same series. I'm not 100% sure, but they watch the same shows over and over, and they keep themselves inside their comfort zone. But these people that go out and intentionally find the things that get them out of their comfort zone to kind of expand their horizon, so they know what makes them uncomfortable.
Exactly. So like in that way, it's kind of like I'm finding these people for these creators to connect with because somebody's going to be like, oh, that's neat. And then they're going to see someone that just makes them like, oh God, I need to watch more. Right.
Yeah, that spirit of adventure.
Mm-hmm.
Stepping out into the vast unknown, going off into the wilderness, over the horizon, standing next to a guy that has a muskrat trap on his forearm, going to a burlesque show that's uh, all drag and cross dressing,
Mm-hmm.
stuff that people wouldn't like normally sign up for, but like this looks interesting and different. Let's go for it and see what we got. And they find
Yeah,
themselves to be
exactly.
thoroughly entertained.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
you're
No,
and you're
exactly.
and you go out and you you
We
just
got
went
we
dark
got some
again.
issues here.
But you go out and you find these people, and where do you find these people at? Do you
So basically,
actively seek out the sideshow networks and
so it's not specifically sideshow. So what I do is sorry, we're we sorry. So what I'll do is I'll actually spend time scouring the internet, or I'll even have people approach me. And then what I do is I just find something that I go, this is really unique and different. And then I learn more about them. And then what I do is I'll make a personalized bio about them or something, and a little preview video, and just show them off. So it really depends. So for example, today I was talking to a creator that he'll be featured on I Think I'm Scary very shortly, but he specifically basically does his makeup to not promote, but to show you how bad police brutality is. So he
okay.
does like grotesque makeup based off the crime scenes you've seen from police brutality. So
That is definitely outside of comfort zone for most people because they don't even want to look at it.
yeah,
They don't want to think
exactly.
about it.
But a lot of people will want to see this too, because then they can kind of show him off and share him and show like the realities of like, this is what's happening in the real life, right? But
Sure.
this is an artist. This is somebody that enjoys what they like to do, and like they want to do that to show you, and they take joy in it, right? So
Fascinating. And there are what is does he just go about the people with the makeup as is, or is he in a place where people intentionally come to see him?
so what he'll do is he'll just like completely dress himself up. He'll do like even his arms and legs all mangled and stuff, and he'll just walk around in public, and people will be like, "What is this?" And he'll be like, "Police brutality."
Got it. So he's like a street artist.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Gotcha. Okay.
yeah,
That that is uh that is a fascinating. I mean, bringing it out to them and bringing the art to the people the way street artists do.
yeah,
That is
yeah.
that's entirely different than having it in a setting
Like
where people intentionally come to it.
yeah,
Uh,
exactly. So people are gonna be, "What are you?" And he's gonna be like, "This is what I am." But so it's our job as the team of I Think I'm Scary to basically find these people though, and like show them off, and then people will start to follow him and see what he's doing and how he's changing things.
Gotcha.
So
Or at least bring an awareness to it so that others,
yeah,
yeah. And for everybody watching down here below me is the I Think I'm Scary. Where is it at? You can go check Sam out on at I Think I'm Scary. There it is. I Think I'm
yeah.
Scary. The Instagram handle is coming next. There it is. IG. I Think I'm Scary. Boom. And then you can also find them on Facebook, and you can see a lot of this stuff that she finds and brings out and highlights and shows it off to folks and highlights it and brings it out to the folks in a yet another venue where they normally wouldn't be seen, and it spreads it out to a
Mhm.
broader audience. That's awesome. That's cool stuff. So you posted a question earlier this week of what is it that makes you, God, remind me of the question. What is it makes you uncomfortable, or what is it that scares you?
What is your deepest fears, essentially?
Deepest
So
fears.
my
That's right.
yeah, mine is I'm terrified of open bodies of water and dark water. I can't even go swimming in a lake without freaking out.
Open bodies of
So
water. So Aquaman's not your boat.
no,
Not
he's
at
cool
all.
to watch, but I couldn't. Nah, I don't need to find him. I don't need his autograph.
I was talking with my son earlier. He would be useless fighting crime in Kansas City
Why is not?
because it's in the middle of the continent. There's nothing like there's no ocean, there's no fish, there's no water. He's just in the middle of cornfields all over the place. And what the hell is he going to do? Like
That's amazing.
he's gonna man the tech back of the bus. He's gonna monitor the sound systems and make sure everybody's headphones are working. Like, thanks, Aquaman.
Awesome.
You're the sound tech. Good job in Kansas City. That's why he works over in Gotham because
Yeah,
it's on the coast.
right.
I guess.
I guess.
I suppose. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't really pay attention to Aquaman. Anyway, what were we talking about? Uh, open bodies of water. Yeah, that's right. Uh, deepest fears. So deepest fears and things that make you uncomfortable. And my comment on that was that I had a dream earlier, like early on during the quarantine, of like doors moving and shifting and stuff that still like creeps me out now, several months after it happened. Uh, what about exploring and knowing deepest fears and scary stuff? What do you think people are? What do you think that about that draws people to it? Why do we sit there and watch? I mean, because the difference between a good horror movie and a bad horror movie is, the ability to suspend enough disbelief that it seems plausible, I suppose, at least for me. It seems somewhat plausible. It's the type of movies that aren't so much big scary monsters coming at you, but it's the monsters, the people that become monsters and like take off kneecaps and stuff like that because it's fun. Those type of monsters, those are the horror movies that I thoroughly enjoy, the relatively plausible ones. But they put you in an uncomfortable place because this crazy son of a bitch could be like that guy over there across the street who's just, got a closet full of skin suits that he stripped off of local homeless people. And I'd never know that guy was a crazy person because I never talked to him because, we live in the suburbs and we never talk to people. What is it that draws people to stuff like that?
I don't know. I think
it draws people to stuff like that.
I think it would be just like the fear of wanting, like not even the fear. It's kind of like you try and fight your inner anxiety by forcing yourself to kind of survive through these things, because I watched this horror movie the other day called 47 Meters Down, which is essentially every single fear in my existence, which is being trapped in a cage in water. The thing breaks, and now you're surrounded by sharks 47 feet down underwater. But, I sit through the movie and I'm just like, okay, I'm like, I love feeling the fear without having to actually be there. You know what I mean? So, like, you're sitting there and you're like, all this anxiety, all your fears are coming forward from this, but you're kind of like, you feel like it's a safe barrier between you and the TV screen. I don't know. It's like an understanding. Like, you just kind of want to watch it. And
yeah, it's like a safe, like a roller coaster.
Yeah.
You're there. It's scary. It's, the roller coaster's not going to kill everybody, probably, most likely. I mean, that operator has both his hands and almost all of his fingers. We're probably not all going to die. Safety in numbers. If 80% of us survive, then, this carnival comes back next year. Woo!
Exactly.
Do you think, all right, now this is a tougher one. Do you think that there's any harm in people flying close to the flame, considering the dark demons, watching it, reflecting back? Do you think there's any harm in it, or is it just a harmless release of those anxieties? Do you think there's people that look at it and think, that's a pretty good idea, I'm going to go harvest me some toenails next week, or whatever crazy people think?
I would honestly hope that some people are watching and go, this is just to help me fight my fears, and they're not kind of watching it for inspiration. I mean, if you're watching it for inspiration, then I definitely want to know who you are, but at the same time, I kind of want to stay, 6 feet apart from you for sure.
Yeah, please email us and let us know if you're one of the crazy people watching for inspiration, so that we can actively avoid you.
Exactly.
Because, oh my God. Let me look. It is 9:25. I'm going to give you folks over at Twitch 5 more minutes, and I'm pointing over here on this side of the screen because that's where my output screens are. So yeah, I'm giving those people five more minutes. Twitch, or not Twitch, Twitter. 5 more minutes Twitter, and then we're exclusive to YouTube and Twitch. So get over there to the Cabin Fever live stream on Twitch, or Old Humble Distilling Company on YouTube. Heads up. 5 minutes, you're on notice. Yeah, the crazy people looking to go harvest toenails, and Nick says he may be one of those crazy people. I mean,
I have a secret collection you don't know about. We all could have, like,
I don't collect toenails. I
suit.
collect toe bones. Thank you. What are those, metatarsals? As the toe bones, metacarpals is the finger bones, right?
I think so. I
Yeah,
don't know.
I put dots on them and use them as dice. It's not weird.
Exactly.
I mean, there's a purpose behind it, is what I'm saying. It's not like I just
Yeah.
keep them in my desk drawer for no
It's not
reason.
murder if you're using it for good intentions, you know?
Well, it's not murder if they survive. I'm just taking their toes. I mean, they're not using them.
They don't eat them anyways. They never did.
But no, it's long been my belief, I suppose. If I ever went crazy, and if the reason I would be put in jail is because I broke free of reality and just pictured everybody as a zombie, and I started going around with a bat. And then like the police would come and take me away. I'm like, but they're zombies. And I'm like, trying to like legitimately thinking I'm trying to protect people. But like everybody else
Yeah.
looking around going, he's just hitting people with a bat.
So is this gonna happen, or is this an excuse for when you do go crazy?
Well, 6 of one, half dozen of the other. You never know. I mean,
Yeah, you never know. I
it's
gave up today. Everybody's a zombie.
yeah, it's that deep-seated fear that like one day I'm gonna wake up and the zombie apocalypse will happen, but it'll all been in my head, and then I'm gonna go to jail.
But it's okay. You were saving the world. You'll have 50% on your side, the other 50 against.
Right. I mean, down here they'll take a poll and it'd be all politics. Like, oh, clearly everybody's a zombie. Can't you see? We should get hit in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, that's just how it's gonna be. But I don't even know where I was gonna go with that. Doesn't matter. Probably just.
It never matters. Just keep going.
But let's see, where was I going to go with that? Deep fear, just losing grip. Yeah, I mean, I could conceivably see there's this guy who's been just watching, like the Fox. Okay, I'm going to say it, people. Like the Fox News people who are just sitting there in front of there, and they're just convinced that like there's hordes of caravans of illegal immigrants coming north and invading our country, and they're like, we're doomed. And because they don't get outside, they don't see anything else. They're just convinced like 28 days later is a documentary and not a horror movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Do you think if you locked yourself in a room and only watched a horror movie, like anything creepy for like just a week, you never left your room, do you think it would impact you? Like you would leave your front door and change?
well, I
Like
mean,
would you
I
be
don't
like,
know.
I'm
I mean,
leaving?
I wonder that because if you close yourself off from reality, and this becomes your reality, and all you're doing is watching the uh, zombie movies, 28 Days of Dark, or uh, Paranormal Activity. The first Paranormal Activity, not the other two, because the other two were just kind of silly. The first one was like legitimately
It was
creepy.
creepy.
Uh,
Yeah.
but if that becomes your reality, and you're just convinced that there's spooky monsters hiding behind the wall, or you get that ghost detector app on your phone, and like, oh, there's a red dot right here over my corner, and you know
You had a 91-year-old child in your house, did you
we'll get to
not?
that in a second. We'll get to that in a second, people. Trust me, that's a good story. But do you? Well, I guess anything could happen. Like anybody could break their brain if they tried.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, do you go ahead and finish this up with that's not really a big deal. That's not going to happen. That's not an issue. You're crazy. Shut up. Go ahead.
A little bit. I think it could happen.
Well,
I'll try it out. I'll let you know.
you
I'll
are
do a week.
supposed to be the voice of reason. I'm the crazy one. You're supposed to be the voice
Do
of
I
reason,
look
saying,
like a
"No,
voice of reason?
it's just entertainment. Shut up. You're crazy. Go away, dum dum." You're supposed to be the voice of reason. You're not supposed to be feeding into my fears and concerns and going, "No, no, these people are definitely going to go crazy. You have to stock plenty of arms in your closet."
All I do is try and find and meet weird people constantly. I don't think I have a voice of reason anymore.
All right, I'll have to ask somebody else if that's just a sick fantasy. That's the problem, because I got like 3 bats, but I'm not going to tell anybody if I have an arsenal of guns behind the false wall in my closet, because that's none of y'all's business.
If you could have a PIN code, what would it be for those guns?
If I could have a PIN code, no, I'm not going to tell you. It would probably. What would I do with that? What just happened? I just had a big thing on my screen. Okay, no worries. My screen did something, but everything's cool. We're good. Don't worry about it. Okay. So what was I going to do with the story? The story about the Ghost app. Right. So this is what I posted the other day when I downloaded the Ghost Detector app. We were watching this show called Abandoned. It is a story. It's a series about abandoned shopping malls, abandoned shopping centers, abandoned facilities and places in the Midwest. And this first episode focused on shopping malls and a factory and skateboarders. I don't know why. We are. Hang on. Twitch, our Twitter people, you got to go over the YouTube or the Twitch. The Twitch is Twitch Old Humble Guy or Twitch Cabin Fever live stream, all three words smushed together. Don't miss it. You want to go to it or go to the YouTube channel. And don't forget to subscribe and see all of our other stuff because we are going to have a super huge, awesome guest, hopefully later on this month, and you're not going to want to miss it. So there you go. Everybody say bye to Twitter. Bye, Twitter. Boop. All right, they're gone. All right. Now we can talk about how terrible Twitter is. Oh my God, those people smell.
I don't think I've ever actually used Twitter.
They're the worst. They all go rah and cheer from the crowd below, and their stinking breath makes you faint. You pass out. That's a Shakespeare reference. Nobody's gonna get that reference. Anyway, doesn't matter. So anyway, okay, so we're watching this show. It's abandoned. They go to the abandoned shopping malls of the Midwest. They start in Akron and a couple of places. They're going around Cleveland and a couple of things like that. And apparently at this one particular shopping mall, the show's a little sad because these are like abandoned shopping malls and they're walking through them with people who used to go to the mall as a kid. So the people are like reminiscing about going to the strudels and Pam's pretzels, and that's where we could buy all the knives and all, all the stuff. And it's like really sad because like nobody enjoyed that, or I guess whatever, people liked crowds, they enjoyed that shit. But it's like they're going through and reminiscing about their childhood. And this one mall that they go to, they go and he says, "Oh yeah, there's demons in that mall." And it's like
in that one specifically,
right? It's like you can hear the record scratch, like what? You just as an offhanded, just like toss away something. Yeah, there's demons in that mall. And oh, by the way, a couple of girls were murdered out back.
Yeah, who cares what
you
the girls?
With that,
demons. That's incredible. I want to go to this demon mall.
The host was really game. He's like, demons, huh? He's like, yeah, there's demons. We caught them on tape. He's like, you did, huh? Tell me more.
That's amazing.
He said, yeah, there's demons. We caught them on tape. We used this, we found them with the Ghost Detector app, and we found EMP pulses on our phone with the EMP detector app or EMF detector app. And I'm like, okay, pause.
I gotta try this right now.
Go to the phone, go to the app store, download the app. Like, this is gonna be great because iPhones are designed to detect electromagnetic fields.
Oh yeah.
It's just a matter of software. They got all the hardware, obviously.
Obviously.
So I download both the apps. Like, okay, let's find some demons.
I can't. That's amazing.
This house that we live in the suburbs of Houston that has been around for maybe 15 years tops. Yeah. I mean, it was woods out here before, but I'm sure there's demons. Why not?
It has to be. There's always demons.
Yeah. And, speaking of ghosts, there's a lot of dead people in this world. A whole lot of dead people. There's more dead people than live people.
Yeah.
The earth would be full of ghosts. You gotta imagine how many people had shitty lives way back when, and just tortured souls of dying with syphilis and smallpox and whatnot. They should be covered in ghosts. But they always seem to be 1800s era ghosts, white people that are just like you know,
Haunting specific landmarks.
yeah, we're just haunting this place that used to be like the plantation owner haunting the plantation because they had such a tough life in their plantation. What about all the fucking slaves in your plantation? Those people should be haunting the damn plantation, not the. Anyway.
We're not paying enough attention to Grandma Gertrude with syphilis that passed away 20 years ago at my house, you know?
Yeah, so I have a problem with the logic of ghosts. I don't
Yeah.
doubt that they could possibly be, but the logic behind the ghosts that we hear about, you know,
Mm.
the manor house owner, William William Rice, the rich industrialist who has a university named after him here in Houston, is haunting the engineering building of Rice University. No, probably not that guy.
Yeah.
He's not haunting shit. He's good.
No.
Anyway,
No.
so what was I talking about? Oh, ghost
Ghosts.
detector. Right. So my lovely wife is sitting on the couch. I download the ghost detector app. Like, okay, we're gonna find some ghosts, honey. And boop, hit the little button, and immediately 2 seconds later, a little red light because it's got this little radar screen on it, like the thing, and it's got the the hand going around, the little
Yeah.
sweeping radar motion, and the little red
Yeah.
light boop, pops up on the circle. Like, oh, we've got one.
We got a demon. We got to take a moment.
And it's great because once you move the phone to where the ghost is, it shows up on your phone. And this one looked like smoke with a face because that's what ghosts look like. And then it tells you
Smoke
the
with the face.
name and the ID number and the age and the type.
It's fucking incredible.
It's like Pokemon for ghosts. It's Pokemon Ghost. That's what it is.
I love it.
And you throw a little ball at it and try to catch the stupid and then it poof disappears, and then another one shows up over there, and we go find it, and then they all look like cigar smoke. And
Yeah.
one of them was a 91-year-old child spirit.
So was it a 91-year-old or was it 91 years since they passed?
I don't know.
Was there? They can give
91
you an
years ago,
ID.
this was a pinewood forest. So
There you
I don't know.
go. They can give you an ID number, but they can't give you
Yeah. And in
any
fact,
more accuracy than that.
91 years ago, it wouldn't have been an Indian living on this ground because 91 years ago it was the, what was it, 1921? Nobody lived here 91 years ago. Is that right? 1921?
No.
That's not right. 19.
Don't ask me to do quick math.
19?
I can't do it.
91, 1930, 1929 is what it would be. There was nobody living here, like anywhere around here. There wasn't farms or anything. It was just empty land. But whatever, it doesn't matter. So then I turn on the EMF detector and I walk around the house, and the little detector thing goes, just sits there and does this the whole time. And then I walk past the stove and it's doing this, and I go to the pantry and it goes. Yeah.
You got ghosts looking for a late night snack.
Apparently,
Man.
yeah, he had the munchies. There's that 91-year-old child. Look, I had the munchies, and he's gonna go raid my damn pantry.
That's incredible.
So,
did you hear about that that one ghost hunting app that's actually like super serious and super real? I think it's called like Randonautica.
Okay.
So basically what it does is it tracks the atmosphere temperature, so you can see when an entity will be in an area. So it was actually on the news and stuff. These teenagers use this app and they followed these like ghostly whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then they found a suitcase full of dead body parts where it was like the suspected ghost to be. So I want to try it. I think we're going to be doing an episode with that where we're taking this rando app and just driving around and finding where these like dead suitcase people might be.
Suitcase people. So whenever they do these shows where people find dead bodies in suitcases, I can't help but think that the people who are doing the show killed that dude.
That's the ultimate cover up.
I know, right? It's
but
like,
why is it always a suitcase?
well,
you know, like
you can
give
put
the
him in
guy
a
a
duffel
better
bag,
burial.
I guess,
Put him in some Gucci or something.
But it's like, that stuff, like, or either they killed that dude or they've done like 100 episodes and only aired the one, right?
Yeah.
The one time it worked. They're like, let's do this one.
We found it.
Yeah. Like when they did the Pepsi challenges, when they had 100 people and they only picked the 6 that like Pepsi over Coke. But, you think it's 100%. Oh, crap. What just happened? Oh no! Oh no! Okay, hold on. All right. For some reason, the Zoom meeting died on me. I'm back. Sam will be back in just a moment. You can't hear me. Sam will be back in just a moment. Hold on, bear with me. Hang on 1 second. She'll be back in just a second. Come back. All right, she'll be with us in just a second. Anyway, so these apps, these ghost hunter apps, these guys who go and find the ghost, I'm fairly certain that they're the ones that, well, if they find an actual body, I'm pretty sure they're the ones that put the bodies there because obviously, either that or they're showing the other 25 or the one episode that worked and the other 25 get dropped in the can. So what happened was the Zoom meeting thought that we had more than 2 participants and it cut me off. It'll be back in just a second. There she is. You hear? Sam, come on. There she is. All right, sorry about that. She'll be back in just a second. There she is. Sam, sorry about that. Oh, there's the video. Almost there. So, hope you enjoyed these messages from our sponsors. The Old Humble Distilling Company, that's our sponsor. That's me. Welcome back. Sorry about that. Zoom did a dumb thing.
It happens.
Yeah. I think what happened is when we glitched out earlier, it thought we had more than 2 participants.
That makes sense.
Me out because Zoom is dumb. So here's a fun ghost story.
Oh, yes. Tell me.
So generally speaking, I don't put a whole lot of, I'm very skeptical. I mean, you got to convince me. You got to have the ghost show up and say like, here's my marks. I'm dead, and poof, disappear. And then I'll be like, hey, that might have been a ghost. Cool.
Yeah.
So in our old house, old house, my young son was freshly born son. He grows up in this house. He's 3 or 4 years old. He has his own room. He's gotten out of the nursery. He's in his own room. And he's kind of a precocious kid and he doesn't really want to go to bed. So we hear him playing with his toys up there. We have like this rule, it's time to go to bed. You don't have to go to sleep, but you have to go to bed. So he's playing around upstairs for a while. We assume. We hear him call from upstairs at the top of the stairs that he's scared. Like, what are you doing? Why are you scared? Like, there's something in my room. There's a ghost. Yeah. There's
you gotta
something
look under
in
the bed or in the closet at least once or twice.
There's something on. I'm like, look, there's nothing in your room. You're stalling. Go to bed. And he's crying because he's scared because there's a monster. And I'm like, kid, stop it. Fast forward several years later, we've moved out of the house. We've put it up as a rental for a year because it's 2008, 2009, and the market sucks or whatever it is. Our renters call us and say that they have a raccoon in the ceiling that has chewed through some of the drywall. So it turns out my young son, who was scared of the monsters in his room, actually had monsters in his room. They were raccoons.
They were just raccoons.
A family of raccoons and a couple of possums. And I am a terrible father.
There you go. Could have saved him. Funny ghost story on my end. This is forever ago.
We did develop an anti-monster spray and an anti-monster enchanted dagger that got all the monsters out of the room. So
did you just dip a knife in coyote pee?
No, I just made up a story. Would have been a better plan to use the coyote pee though.
Right? We had raccoons break into our house, and that's what we did. We sprinkled coyote pee everywhere, and it was smart at first, but it was an awful idea in the long run.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Coyote pee all over your house. Okay, so real quick, this cocktail is the white magic. I add a little bit of the milk and give it a little swirl, and there you go. My black magic turns to white magic.
I'm so excited to try
Tell me about your ghost story.
Okay, so this is told through my mom to me because I was like maybe 5 years old, 6 years old. So we had gone to visit my nanny in Nova Scotia. She had this like big fancy farmhouse, you know, built on native ground burial, whatever.
Nova
So
Scotia is the
anyway,
island over there on the east, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's not an island, but
North of
that's
Maine.
yeah,
Yeah, gotcha.
yeah.
Okay, that's for all you geography people who are live in America and the only thing you know is Texas is there and everything else is everywhere else. Nova Scotia is north of Maine. Carry on.
Yeah, yeah. So,
In Canada.
anyways, my mom's telling me this story where she's like, you know what? Like every time we went to this woman's house, I was terrified. I was just scared all the time. You know, she had like Anne and Green Gable dolls everywhere. You know, just an eerie atmosphere. So, anyway, she's like, you know what? I'm gonna leave my daughter unattended. Let's do this. So I guess I had snuck into the attic, which was locked by a padlock.
Mm-hmm.
And I had gotten in somehow, not knowing what the padlock pass was. Anyway, so my mom finds me and I'm wearing lipstick, like blood red lipstick. And my mom's like, "Oh, hun, where did you get that?" And I was like, I don't even remember what she told me I said, but I was like, "Oh, my great grandma put it on for me. She wanted to play."
Wow.
And my poor mom was just like, "You know what? We're gonna go home a week early."
That would yeah, that would do it.
Hmm.
My dead
She was
grandma
pretty
wanted
freaked out.
to yeah. Yeah, I
Wanted
would
me to wear the lipstick.
geez. Yeah, and see, kids do stuff like that. Like kids will show up and say things like, you know, my friend wanted me to kill you, but I told him no. That's mean. Like, where the hell do you get this? You're 3, you
It's
freak.
either they see something on like I don't know, they say kids can see things on a spectral lane others can't, or they're just brave. They feel like they can say whatever they want. I don't know.
Yeah, the lack of a filter for a child.
Hmm.
Kids
Hmm.
are weird
Because you
sometimes.
know there are plenty of times in my adult life where I'm like, you know, my friends told me I should kill you, but the voices say I shouldn't.
Should you say that with your coworkers every once in a while just to keep them on their toes? Like,
Yeah, yeah,
hey, Mike, how's the coffee?
exactly.
The coffee's good, but you know, I should kill you. Not gonna, but I should. At least that's what the voices tell me. Anyway, you got those reports?
That's incredible.
You ready for that lunch meeting we have with the Carlson account? Your
Oh,
break lines
amazing.
look a little thin, by the way.
Just a little bit.
But yeah, in my old office, there were several times when I go to get coffee, and I'm like, I need to kill every one of these fuckers because none of them know how to make coffee. How do you do
Yeah, I
that?
feel that.
Ugh.
I
Anyway,
feel that. Hmm.
I don't work in that office anymore. That's probably a good
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
thing. I liked my coworkers though. They were fun people, most of them, all except for that one.
Most of them.
Yeah, all
Yeah.
except for Jean. Oh, Jean.
Screw Jean.
Anyway,
I don't even know her, but she sounds like an asshole.
yeah, she was an asshole. She was a guy. She's the Jean with a G, not Jean with a J. But doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. He's
Doesn't matter.
yeah, he's in a different life already. So last 15 minutes. Tell us about your stuff. Go.
All right. So I think I'm scary is about promoting independent creators of cool things that make you all freaked out. We are currently working on a whole bunch of different videos right now. I'm actually in London, Ontario as we speak, getting ready to film a whole bunch of cool videos with Phoenix Fire.
Yay, Phoenix.
Woo, woo, woo. We are, you know, planning a whole bunch of cool videos. So make sure that you guys do like us because those will be posted probably by the end of the week at some point.
Mm-hmm.
We've been traveling a whole bunch around the GTA in general and
GTA, Greater
general
Toronto
or Greater
area.
Toronto area,
Yeah,
something like
gotcha.
yeah.
So they've
Good
been
for you.
traveling around Grand Theft Auto all day long, just
It
boosting
feels like it
cars and knocking
sometimes.
over whores and doing whatever you do on Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah,
I've
that's
only
just my everyday.
yeah, I've only heard about it from friends. I don't have it. I don't have time to play things that aren't
But we have been working behind the scenes hardcore, but you know, COVID does put, you know, we're being safe right now,
fun.
and
Hmm.
that's what's important. But
Right now, everything is behind the scenes.
exactly, you know, But all I say is, follow us, because we do promote a whole bunch of like independent artists and other people as well that you can find and get some cool stuff from. So,
and just a quick shout out, you can find if you follow you, I think I'm scary on Twitch and hit the notification button when you do your live shows on Twitch, they'll be notified and they can watch the shows as they're happening.
Exactly.
And also, speaking of Phoenix Fire, FENYXFYRE on Twitch, you can find him. He does shows as well, if I'm not mistaken. Correct? Correct. Yeah. So yeah, you can find him too. And always, like for real, guys, go out and find these entertainers. It's a great way to stay entertained, especially when you can't go out and see these people live on stage. Nothing beats a live show. You can watch the live show and you can feel the audience get into it. And as the show crescendos and the audience is into it, and you're on the edge of your seat and the tension is building, and then finally they get the climax and it breaks, and all that tension is released, and the audience is into it, and the applause goes up. It is an amazing thing to see these things live. You need to go see them when they get back on stage. You want to do it. You don't know you want to do it yet, but you definitely want to do it. At the very least, catch their recorded shows, catch the shows on video, catch the shows on Twitch, catch the shows on YouTube, their Facebook shows. Catch what they do to give you a taste of what it is that you're missing, because the difference between watching it on a flat screen at a distance and watching it live in the audience is like, the difference between, I don't know, watching somebody eat food and eating food. It is so much better when you're doing it in person.
And hopefully with the COVID restrictions being lifted soon, all of them will be able to perform again soon.
Yeah. I mean,
we're all really excited for.
We were watching Hamilton on Disney Plus because we're people, and that's what people do. It's like moths to the flame. Hamilton comes on, you go watch it. And I was watching it, and it was thoroughly entertaining. But when they got to those points in the show where those dramatic climaxes and the uplifting moments of the show where everybody's there, and then it just cracks, and the audience is applauding, and we're sitting on our couch going, God damn, I wish we were there.
Yeah.
I miss going out and doing things and being places with other people. Even if I'm not with other people, I miss being places with other people.
I agree.
Sitting on the side watching them.
I'm genuinely super pumped for everybody to be able to go back out and do their thing again. Like, I miss it as much as they miss it. Maybe.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Performers miss doing it because they get, money to eat food with and rent to pay for.
Yeah.
All of those words mean something. Y'all can organize them the way you need to in a sense. But the performers also feed off that audience. They flex that muscle, which is the performance muscle. They go on stage and they refine their craft and they hone their craft and they do what they do. The performers need the stage as much as we do, which is as much as we need them on the stage, which is one of the reasons why I really love the Cabin Fever Network hosting my show. Thank you very much, guys. And shows like Jeff's and Tifa's and everybody else's. Speaking of which, Tifa is going to be coming on in 3 minutes, and we have a hard cutoff. So I'm going to thank you, super duper, for coming on the show. You were awesome. You're a fun.
Thank you for having me.
A fun person to chat with. It was a hoot. God, yeah. I can't wait till we start selling our whiskey up there so that I can go. Speaking of which,
I know. I'm so excited.
Have you gotten the package yet?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay, I'll
Which makes sure you guys stay tuned
conversation.
for that.
Y'all don't need to pay attention to this. Shut up. I'll check the tracking number and make sure everything's on track. Let's go through.
But make sure you guys are paying attention because we have some super cool stuff planned with Old Humble.
There you go.
You have to stay tuned for it. Yeah.
And it's okay that they mispronounce it because they're Canadian.
Am I mispronouncing it?
I'm just picking on you. The H is silent. We're humble. And that's actually
Old
how we
Humble.
tell the foreigners. That's how we tell the foreigners apart from the locals. And by foreigners, I mean people from not in Humble or Houston, because people from Dallas call it Humble, and people from Alabama call it Humble. They don't know. So I'm not
I don't
giving you.
know.
I'm not giving you too much
I'll
crap
try.
about it. I love my Canadian neighbors. Y'all are some of my favorite people.
We are the best people.
Yeah, but
We're
in a
so
side
nice.
note, in a business development note, we are exploring the possibility of getting to both British Columbia and Ontario.
Sick. That's where I am.
I know.
Do it. We
I
need
can't
it.
wait. It'll be fun. I thoroughly look forward to going up there in the summer where it's 10 degrees cooler.
Yeah. It feels like 10 degrees hotter.
Nah, it's just because y'all are
We're weak. You can call us weak.
I mean, y'all are tough in the winter. We're like, oh, it's
Yeah.
50 degrees, it's cold, but y'all are like, oh, it's negative 50, it's balmy. Anyway,
Yeah.
thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for
Stay
having me.
tuned to Devil's Hour, or stay tuned to Cabin Fever live stream for the Hot Mess Happy Hour. Go check out Devil's Hour on Wednesday nights. Check out the Monday night show, Chill, Nightcap and Chill with the movie. Check out the G Spot on Saturday. Check out Ryan Adam Wells at 5 o'clock for the 5 o'clock shadow every single day. He is an awesome singer songwriter. You don't want to miss that stuff. Just turn on Cabin Fever at 5 o'clock and leave it. That's fine. Sam, thank you so very much for coming on.
Thank you so much.
Let me get my parting shot ready. Here's my drink. Parting shot. Do not forget to support local artists. You can support local businesses as well. Go to Specs and order our whiskey. Wear your face mask to support local businesses so that we can open up on time in the next 30 to 60 days. If you're not doing your part, we can't do our part.
We need you to follow the rules.
We want our kids to go back to school. You got to wash your damn hands. Sam,
Yeah.
this has been a tremendous amount of fun. Thank you so much. We need to do something like this again sometime.
Yes, we do.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great night. We'll see y'all on Tuesday with Emma Dilemma. Good night.
Night.
Okay, and this is where I turn